Oh my goodness, it's Mr. Pibb time. It's logo redesign time, and we are gonna get right into things. Let's do it. All right, here is the current Mr. Pibb, or Pibb Xtra as everybody is now calling it. I grew up with Mr. Pibb. I always am gonna call it Mr. Pibb. I really wanted to redesign it as Mr. Pibb, but it is going to be called Pibb Xtra per Coke's little guidelines. Before we got started, I went ahead and threw up a couple of different typefaces. We've got Embryo right over here, we've got Mighty Slab over here, and we've got Pie. And I kind of liked Pie, and I fleshed that one out just a little bit in here, and I did some spacing, and I kind of like this bottom one. The top one isn't really all that great, so let's go ahead and come over here. We're going to use that later, but I have an idea for this Pibb right here. Okay, we've got this Pibb, and it is nice and gigantic. It is our Embryo font. We're going to go ahead and outline it right there, and because we want to get into the extra part of it, we need to just space that little bad boy out, and we also need to make sure that we have a typeface that we want that is actually going to work with it. So let's go ahead and do. Actually, you know what? I mean, I hate using this Skia one, but honestly, it's probably really halfway decent for what we need to use it for. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna go ahead and make that white and outline it, and let's just try this as a little side thing over here. I don't know if this is actually going to work, but you never know. Okay, so I'm not like a super huge fan of that, and I think maybe it's this eye that's throwing us off. I need the eye to come up here, and maybe the dot doesn't have to be there, and then I can actually bring this extra up. Now, here's the deal. 4 letters. It should work out in theory, but as you can see, it's not really all that good. So I don't think I'm actually going to use this one, but it was worth the shot to try to figure out. Okay, we got this Pibb in the, what is it? It's Mighty Slab Pibb, and I really love this typeface, and the reason is this little jaunt in here. It's the connection between the I and the P, or the I and the dot is just, it's just fabulous. I absolutely love it. So it feels a little bulky, but it's fun, and I feel like it needs to have something kind of fun. Now, keep in mind, there's also going to be Pibb 0, so Pibb 0 and Pibb Xtra. Now, this Pibb Xtra right in here, it needs to be spaced out just a little bit, so I'm just going to kind of go ahead and try getting this guy spaced out just ever so slightly, because he really does need that space in between, and we're gonna just go ahead and throw him up on here and see if the gaps in between would be awkward. Now, it really is, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and outline this guy, and let's go ahead and we're gonna just add a extra point in here. Actually, you know what? We don't even have to do that. We can just bring this little point over. Voila. And it doesn't even look like anything happened, but there you go. We have this little ascender down from the R coming in, and we just ever so slightly need that T to be over in order for that B not to be all funky. Here, let me show you. Right in this little connection right here, and this guy actually does still need to be fixed just up a little bit here. So let's go over there. All right, cool. So that is fixed, but the nice little part is I can probably, I don't want that much. So let's go ahead and just drag one over, and we can have it line up accordingly. And if you guys don't use those little things right there, that should be A-okay right there. All right, now this guy still isn't over far enough, so yeah, okay. So we're just gonna have to have it, oh boy, why is it doing that? Come on, I need you to go over here and voila, intersect. Quite nice. All right, so Pibb Xtra and then a Pibb 0. Let's go ahead and duplicate this guy and see what he can be at the Pibb Xtra. All right, guys, so here is the Pibb Xtra and the Pibb Xtra. I think that looks quite stellar myself, if I do say so. It's just a little nod to the Xtra and the Xtra, but honestly, it's just gonna be kind of fun, especially when we put it on a can or we put background graphics on it. So this is gonna be finalist, and I'll get to one more. Okay, so here we are with Pibb Xtra. Now this Pibb, it feels a little weird because the B goes up into that T, right? So I kind of, did you see how that felt? This B is really weird. So I am going to actually just take this out, and we're gonna kind of just maybe bring this extra down and scale. And this T, honestly, it feels just a little weird. I don't want that to be so smushed. So let's go ahead and bring these vector points up. That way it's not, oops, 2, and then we'll just do that guy too. Okay, that way the T doesn't feel quite as I don't know, not bulky, but it's definitely an odd kind of T right there. Now this A with this R is definitely going to present some problems, but it shouldn't be terrible. I am probably just going to scale that R down just ever so slightly, and maybe this A down ever so slightly. Okay, that feels a lot better to me. Now, what I want to do is, I do want to keep this one at the angle, but we do have those little notches in the B. I don't know if it's really any relevance to have that, but I do feel like maybe the Pibb right next to each other is kind of a nice option, right? You don't get that very often with soft drinks. So right up next to each other, a little spaced out extra, and we would do the same thing for the Xtra. All right, and we have got one more option for the finalist here. We've got this really fun Xtra over here. I really love the geometric shape of it, the non-uniform T, and then the Pibb is pretty much the same kind of look and style. It's that bulky, fun, fat, bubbly kind of look. I do think that maybe it could benefit from having some kind of like fun way of incorporating this eye kind of going up just a little bit more, and then it's kind of like a pop fizz, right? So we're gonna try that, and then let's go ahead and bring this Xtra into the Pibb itself, and it might need to just go over, let's just see, I don't know, it creates this weird thing with the X, if you notice, but I'm not terribly turned off by that part of it, so I don't know, I'm kind of okay with it. If we do it at an angle, why don't we go ahead and angle shear it and see if it does any kind of difference for us. And let's go ahead and bring that down just a hair. Nope, it's not gonna work quite that much out of shear. Let's go ahead and redo that, and we're gonna just ever so slightly shear it. Let's go just a hair more. Okay, something like that, that could work. It's just slightly, I don't know if it even makes a difference though, to be honest with you. So we're just gonna keep that like that, and I will show you the finalists. All right, my friends, we've got 3 finalists to vote on in the comments below. Choose your favorite, 1, 2, or 3. You can pick, and I will mock up for you guys the soda can on the next episode, and we will have Pibb Xtra and Pibb Xtra, new branded Coke cans just for Coca-Cola. That's how we roll here at Design for Life with John Feldhouse. I want to thank you for subscribing to the channel, and comment below which one you guys like best. Until next time, guys, have a great one.